there are reports Karnataka so many still we have gone backwards. How would all the work we are all doing still by measures we are going backwards? Who is responsible for it?
All of us are.
We are all against these freebies. 3,000 ಕೊಡೋದು 2,000. What do you feel about
No,
that?
in fact, I'm working closely with some of the beneficiaries. ಒಂಥರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಸಹ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಲಿ ನೀವು ಬಂದ್ರಪ್ಪ ನೀವು ಏನು ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ 3,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ದ ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟಿ.
When you tell a child, minority ಅನ್ನೋಣ ನಾವು ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋಣ even though we are wealthy so that we can get some privileges, how does a child feel?
ನೀವು ಇದೊಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ತೊಗೊಂಬಿಡಿ ನೀವೇನು ಕಷ್ಟಪಡಬೇಡಿ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟೇ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಮೆಹನತ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಅವೇ.
In the rural area ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಮುಳ್ಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ. ಹುಡುಗಿರು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಲೇಟಾಗಿ ಬರೋರು ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್. Why are you coming later? What to do? As a girl I have to get up at 4:30. I'm forced to cook. Then only I'm allowed, whereas my brother can get up at 7:30 and come.
For years you've been told ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಲಿ ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇದ್ರು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ತಾತ ಹಿಂಗಿದ್ರು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
I know you brought technology to the rural areas amazingly. How can this bridge the gap?
Technology will play a massive role because we've seen the advent of WhatsApp, right? But ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ they all come trickle down. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಮಂಗಲಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಪ್ಪಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ವೈ ನಾಟ್ ದೇರ್. ನಾವೊಂದು UN ವುಮೆನ್ ಜೊತೆ ವಿ ರನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ITI ಗರ್ಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಮನೇಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ನನಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಏನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಂತ. ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ ಹೋಮ್.
I find NGOs in general are also worried about the political ramification.
ಸಿ ನನಗೇನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಟು ಡೂ ಗುಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಎನಿ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Today we Antardhvani podcast, we are very privileged to have a person who achieved lot of things in his life in terms of his social work, apart from being an entrepreneur himself. So we have today Mr. Madan Padaki, who has really created lot of work in villages. We'll be discussing a lot about how some of his work is impacting the society, particularly the rural areas, how the disparity we see in this country is trying to be bridged, and what are the ways forward. He is also an expert on done some work in AI. It's called his Gen AI. We can also hear about the interesting concept, how we can take it to the rural areas, how we can develop talents. So in these areas we'll be discussing back and forth. So welcome Madan for
Thank
this
you.
meeting, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for coming. Let us hear from you first. How you have done this, what has been your journey in the few words, then we will have a free flowing discussion. Okay?
Sure, Doctor. Now, coming from one of those few Bangaloreans left in Bangalore in a way, grew up here, those born in Hubli.
Few Kannada speaking back.
Few Kannada speaking Bangaloreans. But it's amazing how the city has grown and it's become such a hub for technology and innovation and impact. I co-founded quite early in my career. I started off a startup much before startups was fashionable. 2000 early. In fact, we co-founded a company called MeritTrack, which started out as India's first skills assessments company.
Oh, wow.
Our first angel investor was a farmer from Shimoga who said, I
Even
want to do
which year was this?
2000.
So then only you recognize there is a gap in the skill.
Yes, so we realized that in the IT industry was growing rapidly.
Yes.
And they need talent. So the idea was, how do you assess talent, right? So MeritTrack was tracking merit tanta. That's how we came out with the name. And the usual roller coaster ride of early days of startups, we raised significant capital from HSBC way back in 2005, scaled it up, and we acquired a company of Manipal Education. Realized that they came on board as investors. And MeritTrack got acquired by Manipal in 2011.
2011.
Yes, so it's been 15
Then
years.
you became a free man.
Then I became a free man. It's interesting that 25 years later, MeritTrack continues as an independent, wholly owned subsidiary of Manipal. We've tested over about 60 million people so far. And that I thought was, for me, the thought was that talent was coming from all across the country. Right? We were at some point of time running tests in 500 cities across the country and getting in people for Wipro and Microsoft and so on and so forth. That's when I realized that, listen, opportunity meets capability is the key. And how do you democratize that? How do you take it to nook and corner of the country anta, we started an experiment to take low educated illiterate village youth and see can we really get them to be
low educated
yes, so school dropouts agli ಅಥವಾ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ದಿರೋರಾಗಲಿ ವಿ ಡಿಡ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ವೇ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇನ್ 2009 to say ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಾರ ಬಿ ಪಿ ಒ ಕೆಲಸ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದಾ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ರಿಯಲಿ ಗೆಟ್ ದೆಮ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಡೂ ಇನ್ ಅ ಬಿ ಪಿ ಒ. ವಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸೆಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಅ ರೂರಲ್ ಬಿ ಪಿ ಒ ಇನ್ ಕೊಪ್ಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ಕನಕಗಿರಿ. And that opened my eyes because we were literally able to take low educated illiterate village youth who have never seen an alphabet of English, but in 6 months they could stand in front of an audience.
In 6 months you were able to
1,000-hour program through an accelerated learning pathway. Essentially
so
we
what
realized
technology you used for that?
Actually it's completely human technology in a sense. What we realized was if you instill the self-belief in them and that confidence that nim kailo agatte, you can do it, and create a guided learning pathway, they will flower. That was the simple
Ivaga government talks about lot of skill programs.
Yeah.
Have they partnered with you in any of this to a large extent?
Yeah, we work with the government, but we don't do any government programs or implement them because I believe that it cannot be only top down. You have to listen to aspirations of people. You have to understand what they want. Just because there is some program being done, you force fit and do an implementation, it just becomes another tick box. So our philosophy has been, let us listen to the aspirations of people, let us understand what they want, shape those aspirations and provide them the confidence. So we don't teach any skill. We are not a skill program, no. We teach English, math, computer skills, logical thinking, ability to ask questions, all with the underlying philosophy of confidence and self-belief. We believe that once you unlock that, they will figure their
So you
path
are
out.
like a leadership training.
Exactly. We are unlocking the potential.
Yeah.
We are unlocking the potential. In fact, I truly believe that everybody has infinite potential. And once again, now when we had met Professor Mohammed Yunus, he told something very beautiful. He said, a lot of us die without knowing what treasures lie within.
Absolutely.
So I think the point is, how do you unearth those treasures?
Sati, when others tell you, you begin to realize, ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನನಗೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇದು talent?
Exactly. No, in fact, I call it the Hanuman phenomena because ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ ಬಂದು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಲಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದಾಗ, yes, I can do it ಅಂತ. So I think you need to build that confidence in
Does
people.
it depend on the upbringing? ಇವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಮನೆಗಳು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾರು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೂರಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಮುಳ್ಳೂರು ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಡಿಡ್ ಅನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್, ಹುಡುಗಿರು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಲೇಟಾಗಿ ಬರೋರು, ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್. ವೈ ಆರ್ ಯು ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಲೇಟ್? ವಾಟ್ ಟು ಡೂ? ಆಸ್ ಎ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಎಟ್ 4:30. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕುಕ್, ದೆನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅಲೋಡ್, ವೇರ್ ಆಸ್ ಮೈ ಬ್ರದರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಎಟ್ 7:30 and come. So how much is it developing complex? You ನಿನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೋ. You are a girl.
Exactly.
How does that have
It's
an
a
impact?
big factor, doctor. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು 70% of our trainees are girls. We work in 100 districts
really? Oh, very good.
across the country, and our only metric is, are we really at the bottom of the pyramid? So the families that we work with still earn less than 60,000 rupees per annum. That is the economic strata that we work with. ಹುಡುಗಿರ್ದು, that is the same thing, right? First of all, you come from a very, very underprivileged. For years, you've been told, ನಿನ್ನ ಕೈಲಿ ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇದ್ರು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ತಾತ ಹಿಂಗಿದ್ರು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, right? So that is drilled into them every day.
ಹುಡುಗಿರಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು,
ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು, 16 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ
ಮನೆ ಬರಬೇಕು.
Exactly. So ನಾನು about many years ago, we were running a program in Uttar Pradesh. It was interesting. 21 ಹುಡುಗಿರು of laborers' daughters. First day when I asked them, why are you here? All they said was, I want to earn 50 rupees more per day so that I can help my family. And I think English kaltre, sahaya agbodu anta, that's what they came. 6 months later, in English, when I asked them, and they stood up in English and said, I want to be an IAS officer. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a school principal. So in 6 months, their confidence and aspirations had gone up, right? Which is a powerful thing for them to stand up and say that I want to be that. So the thought, as you rightly said, is especially girls, there's so much of societal pressures and stigma that we need to create role models. In fact, we have a girl from Raichur who ran away from her home because parents were forcing her to get married at 16. She came to our program, navella salpa permissions alla tagondu, we ran the program. She now says, I have single-handedly, because of my story, I have prevented 150 of my girls in my district from getting married because they say, Shanta madadre nav yak madbardu.
Role models.
Exactly.
No, it is an amazing thing. Even you have created a model across India in this skill. How do you measure the impact factor? ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ post-colonization.
Yeah.
Before colonization, we were supposed to have a high
Correct.
growth, one of the rich countries. Colonization ಎಲ್ಲ ಲೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಯಿತು.
Correct.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಅಂದ್ವಿ. ನಾವು ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಇವಾಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಬಂತು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗಾನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಹೌ ವುಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಬೈ ಮೆಷರ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್? ಹೌ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್? ಹೂ ಈಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್?
All of us are. ಅದೇನನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಂಗೆ ಇವ್ರು ಹಿಟ್ ದ ನೇಲ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಹೆಡ್. ಸಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಇಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು GDP, right? It only captures a minuscule part, and I'll share a couple of examples which kind of shape my thinking. About again, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಒಂದು 10-15 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ one of the boys who's a cowherd, we had got him to a job in Bangalore. Before he came to the job, he came to our center for the to meet us before he joined this company. And tip-top agi ಇವತ್ರ ಐರನ್ ಶರ್ಟು, ಪ್ಯಾಂಟು, ಶೂಸು, ಟೈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬಿಗ್ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗೇನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್? ಐ ಥಾಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸೇ 15,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಸಂಬಳ ನಂಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಗ್ತಿದೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋನ್ ಬಿ ಎ ಬಿಗ್ ಡೀಲ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈ ಸೆಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರೊಫೌಂಡ್. ಈ ಸರ್ ಹೋದ ವಾರ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ಅ ಟೀ ಶಾಪ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ when I was growing up there. And the tea shop owner used to deal with me with a very brusque manner. Hey, hogo, kutkolo, side go. So he said, the first thing I did after I trained, hinge ನಾನು ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು, I went and asked him, I want one tea ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅವನು ಹೆಗಲಿಂದ ಟವಲ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಒರೆಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಸರ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂದ. He says, that is the big, I realized that dignity is the most important aspect. And once you provide the dignity, and you create opportunities for the dignity to flower.
How do we do on a massive scale? See, there are two things which happened in Mr. Premji calls annual philanthropy meeting he used to call.
Right.
I used to attend. Once this Murugan group was talking, ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್, ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಲೇಜ್ನ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಎಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಅಂದೆ ಪ್ರೇಮ್ಜಿಗೆ, ಲುಕ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗಳು, ನಮ್ಮ ಊರಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ವೆರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್. ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಚಾರಿಟಿ. ಸಿ, ಫಿಲಾಂಥ್ರಫಿ ಈಸ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್? ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಒಂದು ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ pride in the people, to bring capability at a massive level. What are we doing? And he didn't have an answer. Similarly, Dalai Lama was there. Dalai Lama was saying same thing, confidence kodbeku. Nanande, I want your answer on this. When you tell a child, it is better to get minority annana, navu e caste annana, let us classify ourselves as a OCB, whatever it is, even though we are wealthy, so that we can get some privileges. How does a child feel? I asked Dalai Lama, how does a child feel? How can they have confidence when you are told, behave like a minority, behave like a this? See, instead of bringing pride, the child will think, maybe I'm not as good. I asked him the question. He went around answering. Then finally he looked at my face. I was not moved. I know you're not agreeing. Yes, I said, yes, I'm not agreeing with you, I said. So, idakku answer. See, what is the role of government? See, the government is the government the best, as some of the great philosophers have said, in the Henry David Thoreau, government is the best which grounds the least, or govern at all anta helidare. Is the government a catalyst for where we are, or is the government is coming in the way, or government really showing that we can work together? Should the government really say, you do these programs, we are a monitoring agency, rather than themselves doing? What is your view, having worked so much across India? And of course, we will talk about corruption also later on. Okay?
Maybe we should look at this answer in 3-4 arcs, right? So, my thought is, see, I believe that the world and our country will be a better place when everybody feels hope that I'm helped and my dignity is intact.
Correct.
In fact, now on survey madvi, we surveyed 3,000 rural youth. YouGraph anta have released an index. It's called the Youth Growth, Resilience, Aspirations and Future Readiness Index. Right? What do youth feel? Across the country, multiple languages, but we boiled down to 4 words that stood out for us, which is fascinating. The first word that came across was mehnat. that we are ready to put effort, but our effort must be rewarded. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನೀವು ಇದೊಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ತೊಗೊಂಬಿಡಿ, ನೀವೇನೋ ಕಷ್ಟಪಡಬೇಡಿ, ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟೇ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಮೆಹನತ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಅವೇ, ರೈಟ್? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ದ ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟಿ ಡೌನ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇ ಆಸ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆಲ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಫೀಲ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈವ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಗ್ರೂ. Nobody wants to say ನೀವು ಚಾರಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ನೀವು ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ.
See, this is a very important point because ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು we will come to your other points. ಇದು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇವಾಗ we are all against this freebies. 3,000 ಕೊಡೋದು, 2,000. What do you feel about it?
No, in fact, I'm working closely with some of the beneficiaries. ಒಂಥರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಸಹ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸರ್, ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ, ಬಾಯೇ ಬಿಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್, ಮನೆ ಪಕ್ಕದೊಂದು ತೊಗೊಳ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್ ತೊಗೋಬಾರ್ದು?
ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಗುಂಡಲ್ಪೇಟೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತೊಗೊತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡೋಣ, ಒಂದು ರ್ಯಾಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ರೆಡಿ.
Fantastic.
What do you think of that idea?
No, we need movements like that.
Alva?
See, the point is,
You help us on that.
No, would love to. In fact, that whole, I think it's a powerful idea. Because ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, see, I believe at the end of the day, that effort, that recognition that I got ahead because of my effort,
Yes.
is a powerful narrative, and we have to design policies around that.
Correct.
Right? The second word that came up was takat. That I need strength and I need to derive strength from my community. Right? How do you get that? The third word that came up was izzat, which is what we were talking about, respect.
Correct.
Right? And fourth, they said, ivalla moor idre, I have the himmat, the courage.
Absolutely.
Right?
Well spoken.
So, bada chanag bantadu. And what I'm thinking of is, as a government or as a philanthropist, how do we design our programs in such a way that enhances mehnat, that brings in the takat as a community, that enhances their dignity,
Alva?
right, as an izzat, and provide them the courage. Ivaga, I argue, in fact, one wild idea that we were thinking around, that we should actually create programs that enhances or brings up the dignity of individuals rather than diminish it. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಲಿ ನೀವು ಬಂದ್ರಪ್ಪ, ನೀವು ಏನು ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ, 3,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇಟ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ದ ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟಿ.
Alva?
Right? And that reduces the base of the
And
society.
that is the hope the political system have.
Exactly.
Because by reducing their dignity, we make them our
slaves. Exactly.
ನೀವು ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಕೇಳಯ್ಯ,
ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ.
ನಾವು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
Exactly. That mindset has to change. Right? So how do we break that out?
ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಪೋಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. We had about 1,500 women on one meeting. I said, how many of you have taken money in the elections? 70% ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು, ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ 3,000, 4,000. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಅಂದೆ, do you have dignity? So we are training them not to accept.
Beautiful.
We are training them to now, ಒಂದು ರ್ಯಾಲಿ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ, to reject the money. ಬೇಡ, we want jobs.
Correct.
We want,
Exactly.
That is what we should go for.
Exactly.
And in this another issue we found, ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೂ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದಿರ್ಬೋದು, 40% are battered women. See, this is another problem. ನಾನು ಓಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡೆ, lot of them now through our program, micro credit and this training, ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಲೇಡಿ ಟಾಕ್ಟ್, ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ಗೆ ಐ ಟೀಚ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಎ ಲೆಸನ್.
Beautiful.
ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಪವರ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು.
That is absolutely the case. In fact, ಹಿಂಗೆ ನಾವೊಂದು UN women ಜೊತೆ we run programs for ITI girl students. Same, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 3-4 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ we asked what difference ಅಂದರೆ, again she didn't say that I've got a job. ಅವಳು ಮೇಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್. ಇವಾಗ ಮನೇಲಿ ಏನೇ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ನನಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಂತ. ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ದಾಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಟ್ ಹೋಮ್.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ. ಸಿ, ಅವರ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಅರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ನೌ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 25,000.
ವಾವ್.
ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್
Wow.
ಇನ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 15 years ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗಂದೆ, ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈಡ್. ಏನು, ನಾನು ಐ ಗೇವ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ 1975 ವೆನ್ ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು US. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, he told me once, he was a doctor practically, I had just gone, Mrs. Adams is coming today, make sure she's for cleaning the place. You know how Mrs. Adams came? In a nice car. Came. The car for cleaning. I said, cleaning lady coming in a car. So I was telling our Gundalpet woman, you all of you should have a car. Why not have? Aspiration is important.
Exactly.
That gives you confidence.
Correct.
All of them took it seriously. See, we have to bring this kind of thinking. It is not about money or greed. It is the part of the package of self-confidence.
Exactly.
What is your view on that?
No, I completely agree with you. See, and that becomes the signal to the society that this is the way to do it. ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅವ್ರು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಾನು ತೊಗೊಂತೀನಿ ದುಡ್ಡು, right? So we have to change the pattern, and therefore I believe that the change has to happen from the community, right? Because as you said, the political system, the government system works in a way to keep that under check.
Is that a fact? No?
I think so, because see, that is natural instinct, right?
Hope ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
So idikke we need follow the Gandhiji's thought process. I think we need the salt satyagraha was a fantastic example of a community led model.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So what is our salt is what we need to create, and every community will have its own salt.
So ಇವಾಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು ಅಂದರೆ you might have come across is hand loans.
Yeah.
See, through microcredit and all.
Yeah, yeah.
But still when I took a vote,
Yeah.
60-70% borrow at 4% a month. See, one lady said, I borrowed 1 lakh. Every month I have to give 5,000 rupees. Whatever out of that. They can't clear the principal.
Exactly.
So they keep
you're in debt
So
lifelong.
ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. See, this is a very integrated part of the society where they're bonded laborers.
Correct.
People are abusing. So these are all the ills we have to do. And in your journey, I know you brought technology to the rural areas amazingly. How can this bridge the gap and artificial intelligence? Maybe you can tell something about how you are doing it. Amazing.
Yeah.
To
Thank
see
you.
how we can leapfrog.
Yes, that is the key, right? In fact, before I get there on the framework, then I've been working on this framework the last 10 years, which kind of adds to everything that you're saying. I call it the Rubonomics framework. Rubonomics is rural urban economics, or Ruben is a rural urban. 4 elements that we talked about, right? One is aspirations. How do you increase aspirations and dignity? How do you build talent? That there is an infinite talent, how do you unlock that? There is entrepreneurial energy. In fact, I argue that rurally there's more entrepreneurial resilience than urban, right? Because they face more adversity. And lastly is technology. So you combine aspirations, talent, technology and entrepreneurial spirit, you can create a new world. Absolutely. Right? And that's the model I apply to every initiative that I am a part of. Illi technology will play a massive role because we've seen the advent of WhatsApp, right? But they all come trickle down. First Kormagalal ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಪ್ಪಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು. I am asking the question, why not there? And why should always be a trickle down and low frills?
Why not the reverse?
Exactly. So AI as a powerful tool, and Elon Musk I think rightfully called it as a supersonic tsunami, that it is such a force that we are not able to even envision what's going to happen. It is like the 2000 of the internet. Website ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು animated GIF-ಗಳು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಂತ. But it's moved far beyond. So my thought is in the next 2-3 years, if AI is going to be the superpower that it has, the current conceptualization, AI in the middle, people all around and saying, what will AI do to us? We have to flip it. So it's not Gen AI, I'm calling it the Gen AI, saying people have to be at the center, AI around it, and the question to ask is, how can AI help people? What can we do with AI that will help people progress, Anta? So that's how we conceptualize this framework called Gen AI, saying as an initiative, as a movement, how do we make sure that our villages, the Viksit Bharat dream that we have, won't happen without the Viksit villages? So allinda, how do we begin a grassroots movement that can enable villages to leapfrog?
You think this will shorten the disparity?
100%. 100%.
How will it do? How will it bring wealth to the individual?
2-3 aspects here, Doctor. One though, there is wealth generation. So can an AI tool tell a farmer, listen, I can put 1,000 rupees more in your pocket? That is the answer. The answer is not,
but will it eliminate the middle people?
It should. It should. And middle people also have a role to play which they can play using AI, right? But exploitation can go away because discovery and awareness is instantaneous. Okay. Right? The second aspect is, how do you make connects? Right? So can I tell a farmer, ನೀನು ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ತಿರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ better price ಇದೆ, you link it there and I will get a transporter to come and pick you up, right? So what happens in AI is information asymmetry, ability to connect the dots in real time, which is not happening, and finally to clear the transaction, right? So it could be for a farmer, it could be for a housewife managing expenses. Can we say we can help you save? It could be for a women entrepreneur to say, I'll help you find 10 customers more for your products. So my dream is, for 5 million people the next 5 years, can we measure and say AI has added a 1 lakh rupee additional increment? Otherwise, the tool is useless, right? So how do we design that?
Improvement.
It's economic improvement, right? And allinda, once transparency starts coming in, the social and governance improvement
also
starts.
provide better job opportunities.
100%. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಧಾರವಾಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಭಾಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಆನ್ ಅ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ AI, ಬ್ಲೂ ಡಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ವಿತ್ ಏಕ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಬೈ ನಂದನ್. ಇವಾಗ ದ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್, ಒಂದು ರೆಸ್ಟೋರೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಹಿ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್. 15 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ BCom ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ವೇ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇವನು ಆಚೆ ಒಂದು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾನೆ ವಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಅವರ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಡಾಟ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನೌ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಟೈಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವೇರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗೈ ಆನ್ ಅನ್ AI ಕಾಲಿಂಗ್ ಬಾಟ್ ಸೇಸ್ ನನಗೊಂದು ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕು, 12,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ದ BCom ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಸೇಸ್ ನನಗೊಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಬೇಕು, ನಾನು 10,000 ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಇಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಅನ್ AI ಟೂಲ್. ಅವಾಗ
like a dating mechanism.
Exactly, it is a job dating. That's a great word. Right? So ಧಾರವಾಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 6 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 600-700 MSMEs ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ 2,000 ಜಾಬ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ಸಮ್ 1,500 ಯೂತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅವಾಗೆ ಒಂದು 400-500 ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. Right? So, and all of this is on an AI tool.
Also, can AI bring, for example, you take area, Koppal irbodu, Gundilpet irbodu. We said there are a lot of talented youths. Can AI do an assessment?
100%.
And then what are they good, and can we create, for example, somebody is good in carpentry,
Yes.
building, somebody is good maybe in music,
Yeah.
or whatever. Can that in a mass scale assess ಮಾಡಿ,
Yeah.
can we allot, so this is what you should do in life?
Exactly.
ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು?
Exactly. ಅದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಒನ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಫರ್ದರ್. See, for us to have that equitable distribution of wealth we were talking about, I believe every district in our country is almost like a country.
Correct.
Right? ನೀವು ಮಂಡ್ಯನೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Many times I keep asking that, India GDP is in our face every day, $4 trillion ಅದು ಇದು ಅಂತ. ಮಂಡ್ಯ GDP, if I were to ask you to guess, ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು?
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ GDP? ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಗೆಸ್.
Is it about 100 million ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ 25 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜನ ಮಂಡ್ಯಲ್ಲಿ. Mandy's GDP as per the Karnataka Economic Census Report 24-25 was 54,000 crores. That is $5 billion, $6 billion, right? That was 24,000 crores in 2016-17. So 8 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 8 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲೂ ಡಬಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 7-8 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಬೈ 2032 or 31-32, Mandya itself will be a 100,000 crore economy. Size of 12 Bhutans, 6 Bhutans.
Correct.
Right? Imagine the opportunities in Mandya alone. So if I can tell a local youth who's studying a BCom, BSc.
Why is that so high GDP? Is it because of the...
one is Mandya is a prosperous district, but the point is, Yadgir ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, Yadgir 18,000 ಕೋಟಿ. Right? So the point I'm making is, there are engines of growth in the district which you have to recognize. See, the idea is not everybody from every district should come to a Bangalore or a Mysore. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So if we can show opportunities to a youth, saying, hey, ನೀವು ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟಾ, ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಊರಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಳ್ಳಿಲೇ ಇದ್ದು, you can build a 10 crore business.
Why
right?
do you have to go?
Why do you have to go? And our 10 crores ಅಲ್ಲಿ, the margins that they make is more than sufficient for the
absolutely
income and the lifestyle, right? So I've come out with a concept called the Dig Deep anta as a digital. So Dig Deepa is also a light in the sky, but Dig Deep stands for Digital District Economy and Entrepreneurship Platform. So how can we create platforms where every youth can innovate? And the beauty is, in AI, you need no technology understanding at all. ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ you can create an app.
ಹೌದಾ?
Right? So ಇವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಹುಡುಗರು ಏನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ unbelievable, right? So if we can really leverage the power of AI for young people to become innovators, forget innovators, even simple problem solvers, solving local problems and creating a model. How do you enable that to happen? Anta, we work with various universities and colleges across the country. In fact, Monday we signed a large MOU with Wipro, and Wipro is coming on board in a big way. As an example, Kindle has come on board to enable such youth to think in the AI world. And how do they create local solutions?
It becomes a vibrant society.
Exactly. Because ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ತಾಲೂಕು ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್, ನಮ್ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಹಿಂದುಳಿದವರು, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರೋ ಏನೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಪಟ್ಟಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. So we have to correct that and say, illa opportunity ideppa.
And they become migrants. They come to Bangalore.
Exactly. And illantu yado on slum aliddo, they live such horrible lives.
Alva, correct. They see, this is what we have to change. Exactly. But once I heard a top government official saying, urbanization is very important from India. ಎಲ್ಲರ ಅರ್ಬನೈಸೇಷನ್ನು ಹಳ್ಳಿಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಶಾಕ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಈ ಥರ ಸಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ಎನಫ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ರೂರಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ರೂರಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. See, all the predictions are rural India is going to become smaller and smaller. Is that a right approach?
No, I think so. ಏನಂದರೆ, see, what is happening is, Dr. Kalam ಅವರು, he had come out with this concept called Pura.
Puram. Our IIT person from Chennai is the original founder of that Puram. I heard him.
Right? Providing urban amenities in rural areas. Anta. So I believe in 2-3 things, Doctor. One, though, there should be no disparity in the quality of life. ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪವರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಸಿಗೋದೇ 2 ಅವರು, ನೀರು ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಗುಡ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್, ರೈಟ್? ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ವೈ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಟ್? ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ರಿಟೈನ್ ದಟ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್, ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ರೂರಲ್ ರೂಟ್ಸ್? Not just copy-paste models just because it is there, right? So we have to balance these and say there is an economic and a social growth that is available here. Make that opportunity widespread.
Ivaga, for example, my own experience in Gundalpet, they are a cotton industry. The cotton belitare, cotton and peanuts.
Right.
No industry, zero. All goes to Kerala. Bandu allinda ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. And now Kerala, as people have set up shops in Gundalpet, restaurants and also they have come. So that is one of the issues. How the whole society is shrinking. And youths from Gundalpet go to Kerala to work. So this is what is causing.
Many of the villages are, I call it as haunted villages, because ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಮನೇಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಮುದುಕರು, ಮಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಲಾ ಓಡಿಸ್ತೀಯಾನ್ ಸರ್, ಮಗಳು ಯಾವುದೋ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ. Why do we need that?
But I met one of our members, Kalavati. I asked her, what do you do? What does your husband do? He said, we have 2.5 acres. We grow banana. And she was so clear. We earn about yearly 3 lakhs. We are very happy. We are quite content with it. See, these messages we should take. This is how they are. I didn't realize banana farm can earn so much. Huh?
Amazing.
So we look at various ways.
We have to tell those stories. We have to tell those stories.
Idu illa.
Exactly. Because even for the media, mostly it is all gloom and doom.
Yeah.
Right? We have to share positive stories and say, idu sadhya ide. You can do it.
How can AI do that? Is it a possibility?
See, finally, AI is an efficiency tool. It will connect and reduce wastages and losses, right? If we can curate a model, let's say this banana example you gave, right? If you were to say what went in to make that 2.5 acre land create 3 lakh rupees,
yes.
Model ಮಾಡಿ, if I am a farmer, let's say in Kasargod or wherever, can I learn from that through a voice? Because today ಯಾರೋ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಿದ್ರೆ, there is something called as small language models where you can actually capture some knowledge, create models. Tomorrow I can tell any banana farmer, ನೀನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಪ್ಪ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಾಯ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿ. It will tell you what to do step by step. So basically what happens is information asymmetry comes down, the transmission of knowledge is very efficient, and markets get connected faster.
Absolutely. Alla?
Right? So
idralli we know India is riddled with a lot of corruption. Everybody speaks about it. We all experience it.
Correct.
Nane and Mysore hospital, I ran for 1 year because I refused to bribe. And I ran on a generator. Even today, there are land I got, even today is not mine, even though I paid because of corruption. We have all faced this.
Yeah.
But do you agree the poorest of the poor are the ones who suffer the most from corruption?
100%. No,
And bureaucracy and the
everything,
way
the burden is, the brunt is borne by them.
Alva. How do we, using technology and others, how do we, I know there has been some digital transformation, alla agide, direct agi bank ge hakodu ella madidare.
Correct.
But beyond that, what is it we can, but corruption has not decreased.
Yeah.
So we hear about roads, 40% corruption, all of this. How do you overcome that? Is it possible or should we accept it?
I don't think we should ever accept it.
Accept it,
Right?
correct.
Then we have given up.
Given up.
Right? And I don't think that is the...
Even now people are calling norm. For example, one of the High Court, Supreme Court judges, Verma, told me, I was conducting an anti-corruption meeting, he was there. Doctor, remember, we now say, this judge is honest. All judges are supposed to be honest. And now we say, this politician is honest. You elect them thinking they're honest. So the honesty has become not a norm. Whereas people who are not honest,
Correct.
we think there's a norm.
Correct.
Every field, healthcare, it is not just government corruption, it is private corruption also. Everywhere.
Correct.
It is only increasing because people are accepting
Correct.
it. I hear CEOs saying what to do. Then they appoint a lawyer. And the lawyer fees, let us say, is 5 lakhs. They give him 10 lakhs. Top it up for his tax and say, you get this work done. So he kind of gets cash, goes and bribes and gets it work done. I am not corrupt. My organization is not corrupt, but through these means they bribe. Idakalla ಏನು answer? What is the answer to this? It's a disease.
It's definitely a disease. See, the thing that I think, and coming from a technology standpoint, even direct benefit transfers are tagoli, right? Crores and crores of rupees are being remitted directly into the monies of bank accounts of people, which is a fantastic thing. I think my sense is from a technology standpoint and the dignity standpoint that we were talking about. Basically, corruption is because a few people hold the power and say, Nammatra bandrene nimage kelsa agodu, right? Therefore, you need to pay me, even though the schemes are all there. What technology has the ability to do is to democratize that. Even agentic AI thavoli. Schemes. For example, one of the things we do at Hedelda is on the 5 laksha manegalige, we provide government schemes every year, we connect them to it. ನೀವು ಪಂಚಾಯತ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕಾಯೋದು ಬೇಡ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಆನ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. Now what happens with that is you're taking technology to the doorstep of people and saying, ನಿಮಗೆ rights and entitlements ಇರೋದು, you don't have to pay anybody. You get it, right? So how do we make more of that happen? The second thing is, see, the challenge is, ನೀವು ಗುಂಡ್ಲುಪೇಟೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ರಲ್ಲ, that ಧರ್ನಾ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. Individually we are all scared because ನಮಗೇನಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾಳೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾರೋ ಬಂದು ಥ್ರೆಟನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, right? But if we can use technology for collective voices, good point, right? And say you are not alone, we are in it together. Now, in fact, about 10 years ago, I didn't take off, but I had actually created a concept called One Day Matram. I had said, give me 1 day of your life in 1 year. That is 24 hours, so many seconds. How I splice it is my problem. But let's say, ನೀವು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಪುಣೆಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ರೋಡ್ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ದ ಪುಣೆ ರೋಡ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಲ್ಸ್ ದ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ರೋಡ್ ನಾಳೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಏನಾಯ್ತು ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಸುಮ್ಮನಿರಿ ಅಂತೀರ. ಬಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸೇ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ದಟ್ ಎ ಇ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೇ, ಆ ರೋಡ್ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. ಹಿ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಟಚ್ ಯು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ದಟ್ ಗೈ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ 10,000 ಕಾಲ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ enormous pressure. So what I am thinking of is, how do we use tech to build collective voices?
But what you say is very true. Individuals are fear.
ಹೌದು.
And ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ politicians and their ಕೊಟ್ರೆ, they are also into it.
ಹೌದು.
So for them, creating this fear is very important for control.
Exactly.
See, this control thing is too. So how do we, in India, one of the things I feel, we don't have mass protests. Even Nepal nallaytu. How it changed the whole thing. We don't have that. We don't have that fire in our belly to do it. ಏನಂದರೆ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಬಿಗ್. ನಾನು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮು ಗುಂಡ್ಲುಪೇಟೆನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಓಡಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ವಿ ಆಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಲೇಡಿ, ಶಿ ಸೆಡ್, ನಮಗೆ 3 ದಿನ, ವಾರಕ್ಕೆ 4 ದಿನ ನೀರಿರಲ್ಲ. ವಿತ್ ಎ ಸ್ಮೈಲ್ ಶಿ ಸೇಸ್, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್, ನಮಗೆ ನೀರಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ಸ್ ವೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಜಾತಿಯವರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಇದು. ಸಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಟಾಲರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೆಂಟಾಲಿಟಿ,
ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೆಂಗೋ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನೀರು ಸುರಿತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮೋರಿ ನೀರು, ವೇರ್ ಓಕೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಅ ಹೌಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಆಚೆ ಬಂದು
ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ
ಫಿಲ್ತ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್,
Exactly.
ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ಚಲ್ತಾ So how do you raise these people, like what happened in Nepal, elsewhere?
Yeah.
How do we make people with can we use technology? ಅಥವಾ social media ಇದೆ, but social media ಅಂತಾನು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, it's only a particular limit.
They all appreciate what you're doing, but end of the story.
See,
will you come to the streets and fight?
Exactly. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ my sense, doctor, is that we have to start with young minds.
Yeah.
We have to influence and get our kids.
ಹೌದು.
ಮನೆ 100 ಮೀಟರು. If that boundary of my house moved to 100 meters and I said that 100 meters I will keep it clean, it is my house. And all the houses feel that way. What is required for the community to feel that way?
ಅದೊಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮೈ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈಸೂರ್, ಅವನು ಈಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಬಿಗ್ ಕ್ಲೀನರ್. ರೋಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಪ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಹೋಗಿ ಏನು ಇರಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಮನೆ ಮುಂದೆ. ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ದೆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹೂ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್. ಹಿ ಸೇಸ್, ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಬಿಲೀವ್? ಹಿ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಬ್ರೂಮ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೀನ್, ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಸ್ ನೈಬರ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಆಫ್. See, this approach of behavior pattern is I don't know what to take.
I think these are not short-term fixes. We will create those movements, but we have to create community-based movements.
What is your view on what we are doing? Because you have experience across villages, ella bekadashtu across India. We have taken only one area, Gundlupet Taluk, as a pilot project. Let us transform and see everything from A to Z, and then see how this can be later replicated. So, is that a good model or a worrisome to you?
No, I think it's a fantastic model to saturate a taluka and say what is possible. My only concern or the red flag would be, see, it is a continuous learning process. Correct. I don't think you can ever say it's a journey. There's no destination.
There's no end.
Right? As you're learning, how can we find, for the lack of a better term, 100 other Dr. Ajaikumars who will go and say, hey, naan ee talukal martini, naan ee talukal martini. We have to create champions, and it's a collective learning process. I'm just even saying Gundlupetali, a leadership academy which says, come, I will tell you the learnings that we're doing here. We will get 100 people from 100 districts who have the same passion and intent as you do, and say, now band kalitivappa. As they go implement in their districts and taluks, you will also say, oh, alli eno bere tara madiyara, now we will madbodala anta, right?
Conference madbodu.
Exactly. So how do you create that network of common community, like-minded leaders?
Because what I learnt in Gundlupet is these are all ordinary women.
Exactly.
Housewives.
Exactly.
Once we started this program, microcredit I started long time ago, that confidence in now this leadership tree, amazing.
Unbelievable.
That has shown me exactly what you said. There are people who are willing to do, but they want a way, somebody to show them a way.
And somebody to say, naan idivala, whatige idiv now. We are all together. Come, let's do it. Right? Because I meet so many well-intentioned people. So imagine if, as you rightly said, this I call it as an LC anta ನಾವು ಒಂದು 10 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಸಾಬರಮತಿ ಆಶ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ we had done a similar thought. NGOs don't talk to each other. Collaboration ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, somebody is trying in Maharashtra, waste of resources, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೇಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿ ಡನ್ ದೇರ್, ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಮೊದಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ you would have done something new, right? So we actually convened 400 NGOs together to sit at the lawns of Sabarmati Ashram for 4 days, and we created a network where we say, how do we learn, collaborate and act together?
But most of the time, that's good. I find NGOs in general are also worried about the political ramifications. They cannot be activists, alva? Is that possible? Because they depend on...
ಹೌದು, ಅಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸು ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನನಗೇನನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಟು ಡೂ ಗುಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಎನಿ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಇದ್ದು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಸಮ್ ಸೈಡ್.
The problem there is, when you do good work, lot of things you do, the credit goes to these politicians who are sitting there.
Sure.
And they exploit the system. Sure. They're repeatedly elected, and same bozos are running the system. Same thing, and their wealth is increasing. But we have to put a stop to that. No, this is where we find a problem. ನಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಗುಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್, they invite the local politician. and he comes and gives a talk. Then the jana tintare, oh, you just ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ. Somebody else is doing all that because we make the mistake.
Yeah.
So I feel the movement what we create should be outside of politicians. But my question to you is, when you do that, how will the political system react?
Yeah.
What do you think they will come up with?
No, it's a tough one. In fact, ಭಾಳ ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಅದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿ ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಎ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಟು ದ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ಈ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಂಡ ಕಾಡಿದ್ರಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಯಾರು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ತಪ್ಪು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿ, ಅದು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್, ಸಿ, ಈ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಿಕ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಟೈಮ್. We have to instill the courage in the people that you have the right.
Correct.
Right? ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಏನು ಒಂಥರ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ರೈಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎಂಟೈಟಲ್ಡ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್. ದೆನ್ ದ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ರೈಸಿಂಗ್, ರೈಟ್? ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್
but the dynasty politics is very entrenched.
That is, I mean, I'm also saying these are all natural human behaviors.
Alva.
Right? And you can't change it overnight. What we need to do is to spark mini revolutions, change mindsets of people, get them to ask the right questions, and tell them that you can still thrive without any of these.
I know, in a way, we have to create fear in them. ಏನಪ್ಪ ನನ್ನ ಜಾಗ ಒಟ್ಟೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಏನೋ.
No,
We have to create
exactly.
that
No, it
kind
is
of
that balance of power has to shift to say
people's power.
people's power, right? And that's truly what democracy is.
Yes, yes.
Right? We have let it be the way that we are. That we are doing. And I
No, once I questioned, I won't name, once I questioned the top person of the state about healthcare. Why are you interfering with private healthcare? Government ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಇದೆ. Why don't you correct? That is not your business. He said, I want to do this. Then what is it you have done? You have given us light and air, or what have you given? Why are you? You know who he's talking to? He started beating his chest. I wanted to tell him, you are our servant, but people prevented me next to me. But what I want to see, sometimes the arrogance they develop.
Yeah.
I know one of the politicians told me, Doctor, why would I ever give up? Because he, in his place, there was hundreds of people waiting. See all the people waiting. I love this man. Why should I give up all this? You think I'm a fool? So it won't be easy to take it away.
It's very
and
hard.
Build a people who are really selfless.
Correct.
See, the bottom line is, that is what I try to teach. We have to build the local constituency person who is selfless.
Correct.
For that person, who will not build wealth for that. For the, who should not build. Adin mada the utopia.
Correct.
I don't know whether we can achieve, but like you said very well, we have to strive for it.
Correct. No, we have to keep pushing, and that's change. I believe that it's all tipping point. You need an inflection point.
Howda?
At some tipping point, change will happen.
What
at
is the
large
tipping
scale.
point?
Gottilla. So we have to figure that out, right? To say, at what level does it become a tipping point?
Yeah.
Right?
Are we there?
I'm not
Only
sure.
looking back we will.
Only looking back we will know, right? But we have to keep galvanizing people to say ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇದಾಗತ್ತೆ. This is your, and therefore I feel that there's a lot that we have to change in our education system at the school level itself, because I'm saying, 30-year-old, 40-year-olds mindset change ಮಾಡೋದೊಂದು, but to impress a 8-10-year-old to say this is the world we want to live in.
ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಎನಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಓಪನ್ಲಿ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ರೈಟ್, he belongs to this caste.
Correct.
Caste.
Yeah.
How do we overcome this? Because one of the things I tell is, you look at the person, not the caste, what it is. We all know that.
Yes.
Like I ask my people, you all know you're doing wrong, but still you go and vote best without understanding the value. See, the other important thing is, how do we make people understand the value of their vote? Do you think they've understood the value of their vote?
Only in terms of the monetary benefits they get for the vote, right?
But otherwise they're not understanding.
No, that Prajaprabhutva ಅನ್ನೋದು, it is remained as concepts in our textbooks or some speeches. See, this whole, which is why, Doctor, what you're doing in Gulpete is excellent, because if we can band a community, see, the point is, nan one vote ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ನಾನು ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾರೊಬ್ಬರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ವಿ ಸೀಮ್ ಟು ಹವ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಇನ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೈವಸಿಗೆ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ಸೀಕ್ರೆಸಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹವ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಸಾಮೂಹಿಕಸ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅಗ್ರಹಾರಗಳು, ವಟಾರಗಳು, we were all living together. There was nothing called as individual privacy, it was community progress. But somewhere in the last 100 years or whatever, we have actually moved towards individual privacy trumping community progress, right? ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನ ಇದೆ. How do we bring that, strengthen that community to say we are all together?
Doesn't matter what caste.
What caste, what is your status, because you're living here, we are all together.
Let us get the right person.
And let us
will be
correct, who will represent our community as a group of people. Well,
correct.
Somewhere we got to bring that.
ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ in our interview when we go to villages, since the election anybody has come to you, they say zero sir. Constantly nobody. How they are exploiting the system. Amazing. How the psychology of the human being. ನನಗೆ ನಿಜವಾಲ my blood boils. ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, and they don't have any sense
of
fire
in
in their
choice ಅಂತ. So we have to create those choices
create ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
Show
that we can really do
it.
Leadership training, choice, confidence.
Exactly.
So important.
And I think then slowly, if more and more people start joining that system, then the tipping point will come.
ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ, information, leadership training, how do we also bring about wealth and good education, all of it has to give that bottom up approach.
Exactly.
Exactly. So in a way, what do you foresee in your endeavor here, pursuit? What do you see the future, and how do you think it will make a difference as you go forward? The amazing work you're doing across, using technology, AI, skill, and creating this, understanding the youths and making them, really empowering them, confidence. So where do you think this will make a difference in the next 5-10 years? Will it have a real impact factor?
I don't know. Frankly, the way I have constructed it in my mind is saying we are all mere specks in this whole cosmic work. About 10 years ago, I spent a long time at the ashram, Samruddhi Ashramali, to define my own purpose of my life, which has to be a much larger thing than yourself. And that purpose statement, when I got it and I wrote it down, it gave me a lot of hope and strength, right? Which says that the purpose of my life is to serve the Supreme by empowering every human being to unleash their infinite potential, to create a world of abundance and oneness. I got that sorted in my head. The only metric I do is ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ಬರ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಮಲ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. I reflect for 5 minutes saying, did I live my life with purpose today?
Fantastic.
ಆದರೆ something will change, something will not change. You wake up the next day and go with the same renewed hope and vigor, saying, let me make a difference today. In something that will move my purpose along.
So you have been an entrepreneur. Seriously. Are you now, as you go forward, are you a seeker?
I think so. In fact, I've been reading a lot and writing about Bhagavad Gita and entrepreneurship. I'm actually on the verge of getting a book out called Monkpreneur Anta, which I think is the seeking. That finally we have to elevate ourselves to that seeker to say, let me keep myself happy and people around me happy. Whatever is my influence of sphere of influence, let me figure out how I can build a better world. Right? And I think if each of us behave that way, the world will be automatically better. Right? So, ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, if we are not seekers and living with purpose, ನೀವು ಬಂದು ನಾಳೆ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚುಚ್ಚಿದ್ರೆ, ಇವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, then I let go of my purpose. Right? So if we can get as many people to drive in their own purposeful ways, which is all for Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu, right? Let the world be happy, then there is an alignment.
See, the other thing is, I always believe when I look at seeker, and I also evaluate whether I'm a seeker. Seeker is an independent thinker who takes information from others, forms his own ideas, thinks right or wrong. So in that aspect, how do we develop a generation who do what is the right thing? See, ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ, telling lies.
Yeah.
We have become somewhat norms in that.
Normative ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು.
ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ.
ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವೇ
ನಾವೇ
ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು.
ಮಾಡುವ. How do we change? You said at the school level
Correct.
we have to change. And even religion and all.
Yeah.
So should we have a movement to see how we can get this message? Forget this generation.
Correct.
Let us target next
I agree.
generation.
I completely agree
Go
with you.
after them.
I completely agree with you. See, what we are discussing is not new. 80s ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, 90s ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, 50s ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ.
Even Socrates said years ago,
Same thing,
this next
right?
generation are not good.
Exactly.
So we always
So
say that.
unless until in 20 ವರ್ಷದ ನಾವು ಟೈಮ್ ಫ್ರೇಮಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಈವನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಏರಿಯಾಲೆ can we create 100-200,000 kids who live by these principles?
Yeah.
Right? I will not tell. These are fundamental
Correct.
building blocks. Right? This is the way we are supposed to be. Allinda can we spark change?
In my view, what I have seen, women and children
Yeah?
should be our main focus, because if they change,
Yeah.
like then the future generation,
Yeah.
because women are the custodian of
Of
human
that,
alwa?
of the thought and the whole culture. And I think that is what we should do, Doctor. That, of course, we should keep trying the spheres of circles. But I am very hopeful, and especially ಈಗಿನ ಕಾಲದ ಹುಡುಗರು, the amount of exposure that they have, schools ಅಲ್ಲಿ, the brightness, the potential that exists. Sometimes I think the education system needs to be completely revamped, and again we've just copy pasted the Western models into.
But what is the impact of this technology, fake news? It can also derail the system. No?
Yeah. In fact, in anything, there is always a pros and cons, right? I mean, I keep giving the doctor's example to say a knife can be used to kill somebody or can be used to save somebody.
Yeah.
You don't blame the knife. ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ we blame technology. Right? Tomorrow a murderer uses the knife, we don't say, oh, knife ಕೆಟ್ಟದು.
ಹೌದು.
ಇವಾಗ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಅದೇ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. So how do we change behaviors of people towards this tech? And there'll always be people who will try to use that tech that is again natural human.
So with all these advances, I always reflect, have we lost the simplicity in life?
Correct.
How do we get it back? ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, we hear, ಒಂದು ಕೋಳಿ ಕೂಗುತ್ತೆ,
Correct.
and we hear, and then ಹೋಗಿ ಹಸು ಹಾಲು ಕರೀತು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. We have lost all that.
Correct.
Is there no going back to it?
No, I think
Simple thinking,
completely
ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಲವ್, ಅಫೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್.
100%.
ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲೂ ಈವನ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸುಖ.
ಹೌದು.
ಹೌ ಡು ವಿ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್? ಅಂಡ್ ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪರ್ಸ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ
ಹೌದು,
ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಅನ್ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್.
No, which is why, going back to your original thought, and see, life is much more than just an economic growth or just a societal thing, right? I think we need to raise the spiritual quotient of the population to say,
Spiritual doesn't mean religious.
no, it doesn't mean
Important
religion.
for people to understand.
It is that simplicity.
Yeah.
It is that small pleasures, and it's also that we are not here as eternal, immortal beings.
Correct.
Right? One thing that COVID brought home the truth was, ಇವತ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾಳೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ. So one of the things that, in fact, idrolge I do a bunch of sessions at IIM Bangalore on Bhagavad Gita and leadership.
Okay.
He said, I did a very interesting experiment because Bangalore startup. I said, ನಿಮ್ಮ business venture, how do you exit? What is the exit? So write down exit parameters ಅಂತ ಒಂದು 15 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ನು, ಇದು ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡು, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೆದ್ರು. I said, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಯೋಚಿಸಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, have you thought about the ultimate exit of life, which is death? Right? How would you like to do that exit? ಬರೀರಿ ಅಂದರೆ the aspects are completely different. I said, when we know that exit is going to happen and it has to be a good exit, why aren't we inculcating that in our lives?
Correct. Alva.
Right? People said, I want to be happy. I want my family to think that I've helped people around. Right?
Normal things.
Normal things, right? The simple things. Sometimes in the pursuit of...
It is okay if I take a bribe provided my family are happy. But is my conscience clear when I go to my deathbed?
Exactly.
I've taken bribe, you
Correct.
should not have that conscience.
Yeah. Or people should not say, hey, Mosgara Hodappa. Right?
Alva.
So, I think that focus on, as you said, that spiritual or higher level, higher order planes of existence, we are losing that. And as you said, it's getting confused with religion.
And it is leading to maybe more materialism.
100%. And also this chalta attitude. ಇವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವ್ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು?
That we have to kind of create.
Yes.
ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, they would be working for me for years. And it happened few years ago. And one security officer was working for a long time. The secretary joined me. She said, sir, after 1 month, she said, I want to resign. I said, why? The security guy is making more than me. Until then, she was happy. When she realized the security guy is making more, she became unhappy. See, this is another issue. This unhappiness, so-called.
Every fall, spectacular fall. I mean, I was interviewing this author who wrote this book on Rajat Gupta, the McKinsey.
Subramaniam.
Anita Raghavan. And I was in a conversation with her, and exactly the same thing. I mean, you are worth $350 million, but you look at a neighbor and say, that guy is worth $1 billion.
I should be one.
I should be that, right? That pursuit of that immediate thing, right? Now, if you are at a different plane, it will not let it affect you.
In fact, Bertrand Russell wrote a very nice book on that, in The Pursuit of Happiness.
Right.
In that, he talks about jealousy is inborn, I believe. I don't know whether then you have to overcome that.
Correct.
ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಪ್ಪ ಬರ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು. It's good.
Exactly.
What do I learn from it?
Exactly. So how do we inculcate those behaviors, right? And it's societal behaviors. See, all of us inherently know ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ, ಬಟ್ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಸ್ ಅದ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಹಳೆ ಕತೆ, ಒಂದು ರಾಜ ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮಗ್ ಹಾಲು ಹಾಕ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಬರೀ ನೀರೇ ಇತ್ತು.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್
ರೈಟ್, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಲು ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕತೆಯಿಂದ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ exemplars and we need more conversations like this to spark.
We should. And include college youths, these 100%.
People. And especially amongst the youth, they are very impressionable and very optimistic because they want to live a life with purpose.
See, bottom line, Madan, is we have to get rid of negativism.
100%.
ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರಲ್ಲೂ
ನೆಗೆಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅದು ಇರೋದು ಸಹಜನೇ.
ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಆನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರೂನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್
ಏನೋ ಇರ್ಬೋದು,
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೋ ಇದೆ. We have become suspicious,
cynical, suspicious.
We suspect even everything. Anything good we suspect.
Correct.
Anything bad we say chalta okay, it's
ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. So ಅದನ್ನ how do we change that behavior?
Yes, we have created that society.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but again, it's such a delight and to see the kind of work that you're doing here across the spheres, and wishing you more power.
Come to know about all this. I think there is a lot we can all do together.
Absolutely.
I think people, right-minded people coming together, working in a cohesive way will matter a lot. Thank you very much, Madan. Thanks for coming.
So
it has been a pleasure.
Such an honor.
Honor for me too. Thanks a lot.